Hi everyone and welcome to my place. I'm here today to answer a request from Vanessa, who's getting married later on in the year, and she had seen all of my upcycling easy ways of creating table displays for weddings, and she wanted to know how she could incorporate and put them all together. Well, just to recap, from the tissue box, and we'll show the links down the bottom to have a look to see what I did. So upcycling a tissue box, which I thought was fantastic because it's already got the pattern on. You don't have to decoupage it, you don't have to do anything. All you need to do is to cut the corners. Right, so I'll just quickly recap. Cut the corners like so, fold those over, and you've got a really nice, inexpensive container in which to house flowers, herbs, whatever or I wouldn't use candles, but flowers or herbs or whatever you wanted. And if you were using flowers, you could just put little empty coffee cups or little water containers. And if you wanted to, when I did it, I used I use daisies, but whatever you wanted to use, but you could use fresh fresh little cut roses or whatever, and you could just, place those into there. Now, I've been looking for that thing because the thing broke and I've now found it, so I'll put that to one side. So you could just cover the whole inside with roses if you wanted to, or you could line the box. The other thing you can do is you can embellish around the edges of the box, which I thought was quite nice. And you might even like to put herbs. I actually love to use herbs because, especially the ones that are in the pots already growing, or from the garden centres or the nursery, you can get the little pots of living colour. They are fantastic because you can use it, well, here in New Zealand, I can buy 4 for $5. It's flowering, it's at its pristine best, and they make for really easy flowers for decorating with. So you could perhaps put 2 herbs into that. So that's that all sorted out and ready to go, and I think that this is starting to look quite nice. Vanessa also said that she wanted something a little bit rustic, a little bit organic, so either you can use the roses or you could use the herbs. Today we'll use the herbs. The other thing that she saw that she really liked were the leaves that I made out of the paper clay, which I think are just fabulous. So we've got the lovely box with the lovely colourings, and I know that a lot of people come to me and they say to me, oh, I don't know what colours to put together. Well, the best way and solution for me is to, if you're using your container, look at the base colour. So in here, when I'm looking at that base colour there, I'm looking at that sort of beigey sort of fawny colour. It's got the browny black onto it. So all I've done is I've used sort of like shades, tones and tints that would sort of go in that family. So I've used this little bit of trim around the side here, which I've just glued on. I've also used a white button, which is a little bit stark, but if you were using something like the daisies, just to bring that colourway into that would make it easier. And then you've got that little lovely bit of yellow in there, which you could find another yellow thing that could go with that. Also with the wooden button, the colourways are all going the same way. So, and the other thing that I like, if I'm ever really stuck, is to just stick with whites and greens. They always look really crisp and clean and lovely and fresh. And if you wanted to put candles with this, you could go with the white candles with the white daisies, or you could pick up and you could use the yellow. The other thing that I sometimes do is I will get fresh lemons and I'll sort of lay those through the table. That can look really nice. Now the other problem that Vanessa had was, well, what coloured runner would she use? Well, my secret would be to keep 2 white tablecloths and then to get some burlap, which I've got here, incorporating all of these natural tones to bring this picture together. So with the burlap here, and this is great, this stuff, because you can buy it by the roll and it comes in whatever width and however metres you want. This I really love because with the white tablecloth, it's already edged so I don't have to sew, so that's going to save me time. And then the other thing that you can do is you can just fray out to get a little bit. You can either leave it as it is, but I quite like to do a little bit of fraying, and all you to do this to get this done is to just get a needle and then to just pull those little bits off there until you get the fringing that you want. So that's an easy way of decorating and designing and adding a bit of texture. And I think it's the textures that you use to build up a picture that actually helps to make and set a whole theme without using a lot of money. Now, if you didn't have a linen tablecloth or a damask tablecloth, you could perhaps just use a single bed sheet or a double bed sheet and tie up the edges. Right from there, you determine how long, and my rule of thumb for a runner is a third, a third and a third, or just marginally over. So you'd have this equal distance here, equal distance on that side, and you can have equal distance in the middle, or you can make that slightly narrower or wider depending on how much fabric you've got, how much your budget is, and just how much time and effort you want to put into it. So once you've done that, the next thing in building up and layering is to get another texture. And looking at the box again, that colour there actually blends and tones and is of that same colourway to me. Neutral, easy to work with. So it's just a matter, as I said, of building up those colourways. Right, from there, you could perhaps get a little bit of this lovely sort of like, what is it, sort of like a tape or cord or whatever you wanted to use, measuring that across there, and then do both ends, take that across there and then pinning that across there too. Or you could glue it using tacky glue if you wanted to, having that across there, and then whatever trim you've used on your box or to embellish, whatever your container is, like just getting a strip and running that through. Or if you were using the daisies, like looking into the daisy, because nature's provided something that's quite nice, you could perhaps just use a little bit of a daisy. You can get in this trim, I think it's this part of the Simplicity range of embellishments, and that there with the daisy is all starting to make up a beautiful picture. So you can do, I think, I love doing weddings, and I love it when the girls come to me and say, look, Esther, we're on a really seriously big budget here, or a limited budget. And just looking at what nature's provided and what you can pick up here and pick up there to actually create a beautiful picture. So that's just a little insight into how to put things together. Right, let me just show you what, I'll just quickly do this for now, but I've already done one. So it's easy, glue it or stitch it or hand stitch it, whatever you need to do. Now this here is one that I've already done to the length that you want. And the other thing I wanted to say to you is when you do these, make sure that it's all ironed before you begin. And this is what I would do and if you can't afford to go the whole entire table, just do small bits. You know, if it's a long trestle table or whatever you're using, you could just, whatever the length of the table is, just do small like placemats and have spaces in between and put candles. It's easily achieved. So getting back to what I was going to show you and bringing a whole complete picture together, you could have, say there were 10 people at the table or 12 people, you could just have that on its own, or you could have 2. Then to build the picture a little bit further, just using the little leaves. And when I did these leaves, which I made out of the cardboard, it was the paper clay. What I did with these, and you can have a look, refer back onto the clip, is because these were actually going to be designed for fragrances or a natural car, you know, something to smell nice in a car. But what I did was, once I did the leaf, and then I put just a little bit of tea onto that, just to take that harsh white away, and then you could perhaps put some essential oils onto there so that you've got a nice natural or a lovely fragrance. So a couple of leaves on one side, you could scatter a few leaves over here. And the other thing that I thought was really quite nice is I did this ages and ages ago, and it's just a rock. Who could have thought that a lovely rock could be a beautiful piece of art? And what I've done is I've just got some lace, and I've just hand stitched the lace and then dipped the lace into tea again to get that lovely natural colourway. So even that with a couple of candles there could be really quite beautiful. But it's easy designing, and you know, if you've got access to some really lovely fallen leaves, you could perhaps scatter those. But please do a test with the leaf when you pick it, just in case it does the wee wilt up. But how's that for easy decorating? From the table runner, white table, lovely runner, all in the natural tones, upcycling a lovely old tissue box. And if you know in advance, you can just say to all your friends, please could you just, when you're buying your tissues, get this box, or just, you know, even if they're different patterns but a different colorway, you know, easy way of creating something really special that didn't cost very much. And the other thing, if you're looking for bouquets to go with this, I really just love, if it's for something informal and relaxed, what's wrong with just a lovely bunch of herbs all picked together, wrapped with a bit of scrim, bringing through the lovely little embellishments or enhancements that you've got on your runner. Easy designing. I hope you've enjoyed this, because this is what I really love. Saving money where you can. I hope you've enjoyed this. I've enjoyed sharing, and I look forward to seeing you another day. Thanks for watching.